Do you feel frustrated with weight loss because you just can't stop craving foods that you feel you shouldn't be eating, like chocolate, cake, cookies, ice cream, pizza, and even bread? As a therapist and nutritionist, I've helped myself and countless women across the world break free from emotional eating and yo-yo dieting. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to explain to you why cravings happen and the science behind them. I'm going to cover the 10 plus types of cravings and what they mean, the reason why you crave unhealthy foods even when you're full, and how by knowing why you crave can help you lose weight. Right, so there are so many different ways of naming cravings. It could be binge eating, it could be emotional eating, it could be urges, compulsions, it could be I feel like a chocoholic, it could be I eat my feelings, autopilot eating, food addiction, sugar addiction. There are so many different ones that are all coming into my head right now, and different people call it different things. And my point here is that your definition is the right one for you. Some people I speak to say that emotional eating they feel is when they eat something they didn't want to eat and then move on, whereas binge eating is just continuously eating until they feel stuffed and sick. But again, that labeling might not apply to you personally. Now, if we want to group all these names for cravings into one thing, I don't want to say problem, we can use the following descriptions. Eating things you didn't really want to. Violating your personal standards around food. Eating things you told yourself you wouldn't. And breaking promises you made to yourself around food. And I'm sure if you're here, you've experienced some of those things too. I certainly did and still do to this day. So moving on, there are 2 reasons you eat. To physically nourish your body and give it what it needs to function. And then also emotionally for the soul. And with weight loss, the physical side is usually the easiest part. It just involves learning skills around what and how much to eat. For most people, it's that emotional side that is pulling them back. Remember I said things like eating things you didn't really want to, and you end up overeating and then having all the effects of that in terms of weight gain, the guilt and the feelings about yourself and how you act. And when we focus on that emotional part, there are a few reasons that we emotionally eat as well. On one side, there's that reason to escape certain feelings or gain comfort. And then there's that side to heighten pleasure in times of celebration or to reward yourself. And I want to delve into this escape side of emotional eating because for me, I think it's one of the most important parts to look at and work on for most people. And there are many reasons you might have learned to do it. It could simply be to make yourself feel better in times when you're sad or down. It could be giving yourself something to do if you're bored. Or it could be that food gives you a sense of control when you feel that life is a bit hectic and going all over the place. For some people, food might be a form of procrastination when they have a difficult task, feeling or situation they're trying to delay or avoid. Food can be a temporary relief from responsibility as well. Again, food can be a way to occupy your mind when you have difficult thoughts and feelings coming up, a bit like alcohol or drugs. And of course, a common one, getting rid of stress. Food puts you into a more relaxed state. And also food has a sensory experience. So for some people, it might be nostalgic experiences from the past. Think about hot soups or things that you had in your childhood which bring a certain feeling. And for some people, it could be a method of making them feel. And I don't want to trigger anyone here, but if we think about cutting, that is a form of stimulating the body to make yourself feel if you are numb. And emotional eating could simply just be there because you have a habit of eating something sweet after your lunch or after your dinner. It could be as simple as that. And again, I love simplifying things to help understanding. So getting an urge, craving, or compulsion, for some people can feel like something takes over them and they need to eat that food to get rid of that feeling. But for others, it can be that autopilot thing where they just find themselves eating and they don't even know why. And this can lead to you feeling like there's something wrong with you. Why did I do that? What is going on? Other people don't. Do other people do this? And especially the resulting side effects, like the weight gain from overeating, The guilt from, why did I do that again? I told myself I wouldn't. And the resulting low self-esteem as well from continuously breaking your promises to yourself. And to understand this, you need to know that we have two main parts to our brains. The more modern part, which enables you to think, speak, and plan, but then also the unconscious primal reptilian part of your brain, which has a primary function of keeping you safe and alive. And it's extremely helpful to remember this when we are thinking about our actions. The primal reptilian part of your brain is extremely strong and powerful in getting you to do what it wants. So for example, if you step out into the road and there's a car coming, you jump back very quickly without thinking. You don't think that, oh, there's a car coming, I should move out of the way. You just do it. The same as touching something hot. You move your hand away. You don't think, oh, this is hot, I will move my hand away. You just do it without thinking. And it's because this part of your brain is looking out for you, and it has the power to make you do things without having to consider them. And just a really important note, this part of the brain is not there to make you happy. It's to keep you safe and alive. It doesn't care about the future or any goals you have, including weight loss. It cares about the now. And so going back to food, if through experimentation and repetition over time, you have taught this unconscious part of your brain that food, nice food, is a quick and easy way to change the way you feel, to get rid of negative thoughts and emotions and uncomfortable feelings, then it will use that. Similar to when you touch something hot or jump away from a moving car, it just has the power to make you do that. And just to highlight again, if we think about this part of the brain looking out for us, negative thoughts, negative feelings, negative emotions are indicators of threats to that part of the brain. So it wants to solve that problem. It wants to get rid of them. And even wasting energy is a threat because in the past, food was scarce. So that's why things like going for a run or doing exercise sometimes can feel hard because your brain is going to resist you doing that. Why waste the energy when you're safe and alive now, right? It doesn't care about the future. It doesn't care about your goal. It cares about you being safe and alive. And linking this to procrastination or doing a difficult task as well, that requires energy and brain power. So no wonder it's looking out for you. It's thinking, no, don't do that. Save the energy. You're okay now. But of course, you're human. You have goals. You have things to do. You have work, all those kind of things. So this is where that battle comes in. But the main thing I want to put across here is that there is a benefit to having cravings, to emotional eating. Your brain is looking out for you. It thinks it's doing something good for you. And I hope knowing this can start to give yourself some compassion for this part of you that you have that battle with. And if you're anything like me, you start to resent and have that hate. Why am I like this? And what is wrong with me? So knowing that there is a benefit and it's coming from that protective side of you, like I said, I hope you can start to kind of feel some like positive emotions towards that because it is trying to look out for you and help you. Just think about it. It's this part of you that got you through those tough times in life, which was looking out for you. Just like that good friend that might do something or say something in the moment that you reject or get annoyed at them about, but down the line, you realize that they were doing it out of love. They were trying to help you. And so this is the reason that you can crave unhealthy foods even when you're full. There is that benefit to it that most people just don't realize. Food is an effective way to regulate your emotions and your nervous system and help you relax and make you feel better. And can knowing why you crave help you lose weight? Watch on. So being curious about your cravings can be hugely beneficial to weight loss. Of course, to lose weight, you need to reduce your calorie intake, and it makes sense that the majority of that comes from non-hunger based eating, the emotional eating, the binge eating, the craving side, right? So when you get a craving or want to emotionally eat, just start to be curious why that might be happening. What is it that's driving your brain to do that in the moment? You can be curious and ask yourself, what am I trying to escape or avoid in this moment? Is it a task? Is it a feeling? Is it an emotion? Is it a thought? What might it be? And could it just be a habit that I'm used to eating something after lunch or after dinner? And of course, getting curious is not gonna heal your emotional eating, but it will increase your awareness of why you might be doing it. Once you've done that, you can watch my advice in this video.